All right, guys, Juneteenth is coming up, which means we need to learn something.
Teach me.
And I found an article, the 6 do's and don'ts for engaging in Juneteenth conversations. Let's see what we gotta do here. Guys, before we get into reading this article, please like and subscribe. I want as many people to find this channel as possible so you know what to do. Now, as I said, Juneteenth is coming up. If you guys don't know what Juneteenth is, it happens on June 19th, the day we've claimed celebrating the emancipation of slaves in the United States. I guess there's conversations to be had surrounding Juneteenth, and this article that a DEI expert put together,
Guys, I'm like really smart now. You don't even know.
to tell us the 6 do's and don'ts for engaging in Juneteenth conversations. I personally don't have any celebration on Juneteenth. I get that some people are interested in it. They do want to celebrate the emancipation. More power to you. I will be living out my life as a regular individual with a regular day. So just in case I run into some Juneteenth conversations, let's see what the ground rules are. Educate yourself on the holiday ahead of time. How did it happen? Why did it happen? Who authorized the abolition of slavery? And why did it take so long for the slaves in Galveston, Texas to hear about it? I'm educated enough on Juneteenth now. I don't personally feel the need to look into this. I'll tell you an interesting story. I was at a comedy show of Tony Rock at the Laugh Factory in Las Vegas with my boyfriend, and we went. My boyfriend happens to be a white man. Spooky.
I am so scared.
Tony started telling a joke, and he looked at my boyfriend and said, "Do you know what Juneteenth is?" First of all, my boyfriend's an Australian man,
Good day, mate.
so there's no reason for him to know what Juneteenth is. We all know that America had slaves. We all know the slaves were emancipated. That was a great thing, a great move of progress in this country. Personally, I can move on, but the whole crowd was shocked. And the joke became, how do you have a black girlfriend and you don't know what Juneteenth is?
How dare you?
It's because Juneteenth is not a keystone in my life story. I'll let you know. I don't feel the need to tell you. You need to educate yourself on the holiday because I personally don't celebrate. Next, do allow black colleagues to speak on their Juneteenth perspectives, but don't put the burden on them to educate everyone. Amazing. Okay, you have to allow them their space to speak on their Juneteenth perspectives, but if you have any questions regarding this now pivotal holiday in the American year, don't burden them to educate you on it.
Don't do it, do it.
I'm sorry, but if you care that much about Juneteenth, wouldn't you want to educate people on what it is? Now that's called emotional labor, right? Which is this term that's been coined by the leftists in this country to say you shouldn't have to take on the emotional labor to educate somebody on your personal woes or the woes of your ancestors. So not only do they want you to know everything about Juneteenth and educate yourself on it, you shouldn't go and burden them with questions about the holiday that they've created for you to celebrate. Do create a safer space for the conversation. What does that even mean? It says, for example, if you're hosting an in-person conversation, have you thought about including a facilitator or someone who can set some ground rules to maintain a cordial atmosphere while the conversation ensues? In addition, are you aware of the literal temperature of the room? Will it be a physically comfortable space, or will it be too hot or cold for the number of attendees in the space? Are there soothing beverages available, like coffee or tea, for moments when people could use a sip of something warm? Think about the seating arrangement. Is the room set up in a hierarchical way where all chairs are pointed in one direction in the teacher to pupil dynamic that I referred to earlier? Or are the chairs set up in a circle so that all the attendees can be seen and heard? Nothing gets done in a woke society because these are the things that you have to worry about. Oh my goodness. I thought this was going to be, in case somebody gets emotional about the history, like make sure you have like tissues and stuff like that. Oh, goodness gracious. It reminds me of that meeting video that we reacted to where nobody could get anything done because people were constantly complaining about like pronouns and stimulation and all this different stuff.
I've already asked people to be mindful of the chatter of their comrades who are sensitive to sensory overload, and that goes double for the heckling and the hissing. It is also triggering to my anxiety.
That's wokeness for you. Propose to make Juneteenth a company holiday. Perhaps you have several black colleagues who would appreciate the day off. Or if there is a multicultural coalition of people who also support the idea, come prepared to discuss with leadership or HR to request the holiday be a part of the company's paid time off roster. Now I see what you guys are doing. You guys want a day off work, and Juneteenth is the perfect opportunity to get it. It reminds me of this article that I read of a black professor saying she wanted black bereavement leave. She wants time off to grieve. Whenever a black person is killed by police, this is what this is giving to me. It's the same energy. Don't make Juneteenth a one-day event. No, no, no. Even though we've dedicated a singular day to this moment, it's not a one-day event. The day comes and then it goes, but holidays like the 4th of July are celebrated for over 3 or 4 days with an emphasis on pride and celebration. Juneteenth deserves the same acknowledgement. To enhance and elongate the holiday, give colleagues a runway of days during which to absorb historical information. You can also set up a small art exhibit or feature books and other historical information in a common space in the preceding month so people have time to reflect on the information. In essence, preparing colleagues ahead of time will make the day that much richer, not just for your black colleagues, but for everyone involved. Who's getting any work done in the office that is engaging in this behavior? You guys are setting up art exhibits, you're making coffee and tea, you're making sure you have some Marxist seat arrangements. Who's doing any actual work? Celebrate it if you want to celebrate it, but this is doing too much.
Too far!
Don't wear performative clothing to show that you're down with the cause. So I guess if you're wearing like a Black Lives Matter shirt or a dashiki, they say here, they don't want you putting that on to be performative in your allyship or activism for the black community. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. And that's the last one. We don't have to read any more from the Juneteenth do's and don'ts. I will be not doing any of this. Let me know how you feel about the holiday itself. Do you do anything to celebrate? Let me know. And as always, we encourage healthy debate in the comments down below, so duke it out, but do so respectfully. Please like, subscribe, click the notification bell to be notified every single time I post a video for you guys, which is every single day. And happy early Juneteenth.